I'm gonna attempt to do this. I was debating about it. I am going to attempt to show you how to make the sleeping setup for one of these bunk beds. So I'm going to try to set up the camera and show you. It will not be the most flattering angles. First thing I'm going to do is take off my shoes because I don't want to get my shoes and stuff on the bed. That defeats the purpose. Now let me climb up here. I'll try to climb up here. Ugh. Okay. So I'm up here on top of the bunk bed, and I'm gonna try to set up this camera at an angle so you can, hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So the first thing you wanna do is they have a mattress protector, a little bit quilted, but it's very thin. It'll stand out when you open your bag of linens. The first thing you want to do is start at the far end away from the steps. And you just basically tuck in your corners on one end. They're not going to stay. They're going to keep popping up. Just do the best you can. If you get it really underneath, it has a better chance of staying, but not really. Now, some hostels have these permanently on the bed. They're like basically mattress sleeves. All right, so I've got both there. And I'm pulling them both down at the same time so one corner doesn't pop up. And I'm just backing my way towards the stairs. I know this is gonna end up flopping up in the night. All right, I've got my knee on top of it so I can get this corner. I know this is gonna end up popping up in the middle of the night, so it's almost pointless. But I'm gonna do it anyways and show you guys. So I have my knee holding it down in place. I've got that corner, those two corners, this corner, and my knee is holding it so I can get this last corner. And I'm gonna and then after I get this last corner, I'm gonna climb down and get the next thing that needs to go on this bed. And this is not easy at all. Now I will say, I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. I will say that once you get all four corners, you can kind of tuck in the sides a little more. Okay. The next thing in this bag of goodies. So you had the mattress protector. You have your pillowcase, obvious. You have a flat sheet and a fitted sheet. So we're gonna do the fitted sheet first. Same concept. Start on the end away from the steps. Now, if you have ever had a bunk bed, you understand the struggle with this. I never had a bunk bed growing up. I just had my own little bed with just me. So I never had to deal with this until I started staying at hostels. I did go on like camping trips and stuff at places, school trips where we had bunk beds, but we didn't have to make the beds. We were children. So again, I'm gonna carefully crawl down to this end. Start with a corner. And in case you're wondering where the camera is set up, it's set up in the cubby. Just kind of leaned back. I figured that would be the best way to sort of get this. All right. So that went on much smoother. It seems like the mattress pad or the mattress protector might be slightly too small for this bed. Or it just doesn't stretch enough. So again, I've got the two ends down there. I've got my knee on the material to hold it in place while I get this third corner. And then I'm gonna back out again to get the fourth corner. Ugh. This time I am actually just standing on the steps because I already have the other linens up here. All right, so I have this, and that makes up my fitted sheet. Now I'm just sort of taking my fingers with the fitted sheet and tucking them below the railing so that it holds it in place a little bit better. On the outside here, I can actually pull it out. There's that. Now, as far as the flat sheet for this bed, it's just a flat sheet. So, realistically, I'm thinking 9 times out of 10, I'll probably just sleep with the sheet over me and not the blanket they gave me. So all I have to do is basically stretch it out over the bed. In the interest of this video time, and also because I don't feel like doing it right now, I am getting the sheet basically fluffed out longwise, and I am going to just simply lay it up against the wall here. I'm not gonna tuck it, anything like that. I'm just laying it here so that when I get in the bed tonight, all I have to do is just pull the sheet over me. I could technically tuck one in under the mattress, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna stay. So why bother? I'll also bring the blanket up here. That way in the night, should the air conditioning become too much, I can put the blanket on me. I will put my pillowcase on my pillow and throw it up here too. When it comes to hostels, if you are, so there's 2 types of hostels basically as far as the rooming. There's the kind that will assign a bed to you, and then there's the kind that they say, here's your room, you pick your bed and you put your name on it, or you put your stuff on it to claim your spot. The Portland, Oregon hostel I stayed in was like that, where I could just pick my own bed and claim my spot. But the other ones I have stayed at so far basically assign you a bed. A lot of people want the bottom bunk. I prefer the top because these beds shake. When especially an adult is climbing up here, these beds can shake. And I would rather be the one climbing up and doing the shaking than laying on the bottom and rocking and rolling all night. Also, you never know who you're going to be in the room with. Maybe it's somebody who decided to go out and party too hard and they throw up, or they use the bathroom on themselves in the middle of the night. I don't want to be on the bottom bunk and be on the receiving end of that. So I always pick the top bunk. Yes, it is harder when you're a little bit older to climb up, and just like the one in Alaska, the stairs were not safe. I was like, no, I'm not gonna get on the top there. But for the most part, if you are slow climbing up and down you'll be fine. But should, either way, either type of hostel, whether it's one that will assign you a bed or one where you get to pick your bed, the general rule is if the bed is made up and there is stuff on the bed or around the bed, if it looks like someone has basically claimed it, then they've claimed it. And don't move their stuff. That is a surefire way to make instant enemies, even if the stuff is in the way. Sorry, I'm moving that cord. Even if the stuff is in the way. Right now, technically, where this person's luggage is under the number 4 hooks is where my luggage should be. But I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm not touching their stuff, because they come in and see that their stuff's been moved. They're gonna be pissed. I would be pissed. I would rather somebody wait and say, hey, can we flip-flop spaces? So yeah, and this is basically how you make a bed. And you want to do it as soon as you get here to claim your steak, so there's no confusion on things.